meteorites are classified, among other criteria, according to their so-called petrologic type. Now the petrologic type goes from 1 to 7, where 3 is the most primitive. Smaller than 3, meteorites or parent bodies have experienced aqueous alteration, and type 7 meteorites experienced, so this is 3, metamorphic overprint with an increase of temperature from 3 to 7. Now you then assume that this might happen on a parent body that has a certain structure. So there's a layering like an onion shell, and on the outside there are type 3 chondrites, and on the inside there are the type 7 chondrites, which means this parent body was hot and heated, and the temperature is increasing from the outside to the inside because the inside is cooling slower after the parent body has been heated. Now this can be tested when we look at various components and minerals within a meteorite, or various meteorites that come maybe from different regions or of such a onion shell meteorite, and that record within certain minerals temperature, or that minerals formed at a certain temperature, and these minerals can be dated, and from the combination of the temperature these meteorites record and the age of these components, the thermal history can be reconstructed. And this is what is done in this plot here. So on the x-axis here is the age from 1 million years to a couple of 100 million years, because this here is a logarithmic plot. On the y-axis is the temperature in degrees Celsius, and then there are plotted H chondrites. So these are all H chondrites of various petrologic types, so H4, H5, H2, H6. And then components and minerals are dated in these chondrites. So for example, whole rocks, the age of the entire meteorite using hafnium tungsten lead system for whole rock chondrules and phosphates, argon for feldspar, and 244 plutonium for marylite. And these various components like phosphate, feldspar, marylite form at different temperatures, which define their location on the x-axis, and then the age of these minerals is plotted on, the mineral, formation temperature is plotted along the y-axis, of course, and then the age is plotted along the x-axis. And then there are a couple of solid black lines, so these lines here. And these lines were calculated assuming a asteroid parent body with a diameter of 100 kilometers that was heated by the decay of 26 aluminum. And the numbers here, like 93, 80, and so on, and 0, is the distance in this asteroid from the center. So 93 is quite outside here, where 0 would be here at the center. So then when we look at these lines here, for example, let's take one of these lines. So this one starts here at maybe something like 3 million years and goes up for a very long time. So this is the outside of the parent body, which is indicated by 0. This means basically the surface. So this stays, this is the core. And the core, of course, stays hot for a very long time at around 900 degrees Celsius for maybe something like 30 million years here, and then it cools down again. Now the H6 chondrites, so of a high petrologic type, they plot along the lines that are close to the core here. So these are all the data from H6 chondrites here. So they plot either very much at the core or close to the core, 40 kilometers distance from the core. So the H6 are sort of here. Then the H5 chondrites, which are making this very nice purple color here, fall along a line. So these are all the H5 chondrites here. They fall along a line that is 80 kilometers distance from the core. So they would plot something here. So this would be H5. And then finally, I take red here. So this would be the H4 chondrite, 93 distance from the core. So this would be here. So this would be H4. This fits more or less with the model for very close to the surface here. So this would be surface, this would be core here. So in the end then, what these data really very nicely show is that in fact this structure here, this onion shell structure, is really reproduced or supported by the data from these minerals and components that form at a specific temperature and that can be dated here, which is a very nice result. And the take-home message, of course, is also that the cooling of an asteroid, which starts at a few million years, can last up to a couple hundred millions of years. So cooling of an asteroid takes about 100 to 200 million years. Of course, this depends on the size of the asteroid and on the, for example, nuclei that is heating it, and this might change with different size, of course, but this is around the ballpark 100 to 200 million years, or a couple of tens of million years in which asteroids cool.